One of the year's most anticipated films, The Odyssey, is in theaters now, which means there's no better time to rank all of Christopher Nolan's films. The man can single-handedly earn his films $500 million, and his incredible skill behind the camera has earned him the reputation. His films are beloved by cinephiles, critics, and casual moviegoers alike. There's a lot to cover here, so sit back and relax as I rank every feature-length film he's ever made. Sorry, Doodlebug, you don't count. I'll rapidly go through those that didn't make the top 10 first. At the bottom is Tenet, a film with a fascinating concept and infectious music that is so divorced of anything interesting character-wise, he didn't even bother to give the main character a name. Following comes After, his first film that showed Nolan's flair for temporal manipulation that proves inventive on its low budget. Next is The Dark Knight Rises. Now, when this film came out, I probably would have told you that it was one of my top 5 favorite films ever. But I was 16 at the time. I still really enjoy watching it, but boy, does it strain believability in many crucial areas. You gotta love Bane though. Tom Hardy and his traps are a hell of a screen presence. From this point on, these are pretty much all films I think are excellent, so don't get too caught up in the specific order I put them in. But kicking off the top 10 is Insomnia, which I think gets forgotten a lot in the shuffle because there's nothing too daring and it doesn't veer far from the standard serial killer hunter template. An intriguing setting and a shockingly discomforting turn from Robin Williams here. You're left with a bit of an icky feeling by the end, but you also know you've watched something really remarkable. Number 9 is where I'm slotting The Odyssey. I don't want recency bias to launch this too high because there were a few scenes I could pull out of this with some pretty flat dialogue that felt a bit over-expository, but my god, are there many sequences I love in this film, and it's especially impressive the way Nolan demonstrates his knack for body horror with some of these episodic ordeals that Odysseus has to overcome. I've only seen it once so far, but this really felt like Christopher Nolan dialing in a lot of his technical strengths while experimenting a bit, and it's wonderful to experience on the big screen. Batman Begins is number 8, a terrific origin story for my favorite superhero that completely defied all expectations. In a strange way, we can be grateful to that Batman and Robin monstrosity because we never would have gotten this trilogy without it.
Chicks dig the car.
And even 20 years later, the gravelly Batman voice is still fun to do. Next is Dunkirk, which I think is the last movie I watched multiple times in a theatrical run, which just goes to show you how rarely I watch films more than once in short succession. Its tense, relentless atmosphere and absolutely ear-shattering shooting sequences are probably what stands out the most in one of the best war films we've gotten in the last decade. Number 6 is The Prestige, one of Nolan's best written films, and not just because of its famous twist ending. There's a real sense of rivalry built between the two main characters, and the collateral damage left in the wake of this is so compelling. Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman naturally both give incredible performances. Fifth is Memento, a film that absolutely demands a second watch because the first viewing simply doesn't let you appreciate the full extent of the character study you're experiencing. It's unsettling, it's twisty, and it absolutely demands your attention the entire way through, and rewarding that attention mightily. Announcing yourself to the world with a film segmented in reverse order might have been the boldest career move Christopher Nolan has ever done. In fourth is Inception, which is undoubtedly the most referenced and memed movie of Nolan's career. The concept seems ripe for sequels, but what we do get with just the one film is deeply satisfying sci-fi with a powerful emotional core. One of Hans Zimmer's finest musical scores too. In third is a film that I seem to love more every time I watch it, and that's Oppenheimer. It's scored and edited like a 3-hour trailer, which definitely isn't so bad with Ludwig Göransson's magnificent music I put on regularly while doing work. It's a character that feels like one Christopher Nolan could have made up if he wasn't already real, because the two are so alike in their imaginative yet clinical approach to their work. Cillian Murphy earned that Oscar in a career-defining role. Second is The Dark Knight, and pretty much everything that can be said about this film has probably already been said. It's the prototypical dark, gritty comic book film that, even though it was a direct sequel, pretty much changed the course of the entire genre going forward. It's a masterpiece of moral gray and rippling consequences of impossible decisions. Iconic Joker turn from Heath Ledger, of course, too. What the world would have given for a few more performances from him.
Why so serious?
And the best film of Nolan's career is Interstellar, an absolute triumph of epic filmmaking that feels so big and spans so much time that a screen doesn't seem like it can contain it. The grand scientific concepts are mesmerizing to explore, communicated simply enough to understand, and consequential in ways that feel heavily important on an existential level. It's also worth noting that Hans Zimmer's score literally brought me to tears the first time I watched this in IMAX. It has only grown in the world's estimation since its release and is truly one of my all-time favorite films. And that's the list. Christopher Nolan is of course a lightning rod for passionate film takes, so let me know your rankings or if mine are completely nuts.